Karen's birthdays, it's time for Karen's birthday. Karen's birthdays, it's time for Karen's birthday. Karen's birthdays, it's time for Karen's birthday. Karen's birthdays, it's time for Karen's birthday.
We turn things over to Karen as we celebrate those who celebrate birthdays in the movies.
All right. So, starting off our birthdays this week is Howard Stern's sidekick, Robin Quivers, who turned 60 but can play anywhere from a 36 double D to a 34 G. Robin Quivers has often been referred to as the ultimate good sport as she laughs and plays along with her co-host and a room full of male comedians. God, how did she do it? In her 30-plus years of the show, she has seen more naked breasts than most porn directors have seen in their whole careers. Lately, Robin has been rumored to be fighting cancer, having a grapefruit-sized tumor removed from her bladder. But that has not kept her from the show. An ISDN line was installed in her apartment, and she does the show remotely. I only wonder if they send over naked ladies to make her feel more comfortable. So that is our first birthday is Robin Quivers.
Not my favorite part of the show, but man, it wouldn't be the show without her.
Yeah. I think Howard also says that he would not do the show if she wasn't there.
Right. No, he said that numerous times.
Yeah. There's something about the fact that she and Fred have to be there in order for him to feel comfortable.
Yep.
Yes,
Yeah, Fred might be one of my favorite parts of that show.
Yeah. Robin's news kind of drives me crazy because it's as if she's hearing the news for the first time as well.
We're sure it came in on some kind of ticker, but you wouldn't know it sometimes.
No, you wouldn't know that anybody perhaps had shown it to her ahead of time. And happy birthday to another cancer survivor, Dustin Hoffman, who turned 75 but can play anywhere from male to female.
This is also news, right?
Yes. Just today, I think, yesterday or today, they just said that he survived happily some sort of cancer removal, but they didn't say what kind of cancer. So I don't know. It's cancer time apparently for birthdays.
Yikes.
However, here's a little fun fact about Dustin Hoffman. He started off his acting career in LA after he flunked out of City College. That is awesome. There's something great about that. He went on to study acting at the Pasadena Playhouse and then promptly flunked out after 3 classes.
Sweet.
Yes.
Wow.
So he and his friend who he
2
met
Oscars.
at the Pasadena Playhouse, Gene Hackman, they moved together to New York City, see what they could do there. And he lived with Gene Hackman in a 1-bedroom apartment and slept on the kitchen floor until Gene said he would help him find somewhere else to live. Well, they moved next door to Mel Brooks in New York. And then, I know, it's amazing when you hear this.
Wow.
You're like, when's that going to happen to me? He lives next door to Mel Brooks, who says, I would like you to play Franz Lipkin in The Producers. But just as Hoffman was going to do that, he was offered the role of Ben Braddock in The Graduate, which was also co-starring Albert Brooks' wife, Anne Bancroft.
Mel Brooks.
Whoops,
Yes.
sorry.
Both brilliant.
Brilliant,
but different
yes.
Brookses.
Hoffman asked to be let out of his contract, and so the role of
Liebkind. It's German.
Who do you know who it went to?
I do.
You do. Anybody else?
Kenneth Mars.
Kenneth Mars, right? So, that's a good role. But, of course, in the role of a giant movie star, went to Dustin Hoffman. And that reminds me that I have not seen The Graduate, so I have to add that to my list.
First 20 minutes of that movie, I will put up against almost any art film. That is one of the most brilliantly directed 20 minutes of film that exists.
Really?
I just watched it again recently.
Uh-huh.
Mike Nichols directs the shit out of at least the first 20 minutes of that movie is kind of different from the rest of it once it gets into the Mrs. Robinson stuff. But all the way through the leg shot and all that sort of stuff.
He's got an Oscar, right, Jamie?
Holy hell.
Mike Nichols?
But I mean,
No?
it's
That
just
doesn't seem right if he doesn't.
It just take another look at The Graduate if you haven't seen it in a while.
I
He
have not
directs
seen
the
it, though.
shit out of that movie. It's crazy.
Yeah, put that on your list.
I know. I'll
Yeah.
put that on after. And then, lastly, happy birthday to the late Lucille Ball, who passed away in 1989 at the age of 77, but could play anywhere from ditzy blonde to ditzy redhead. Now, Paul and I, we had a comedy show called Preston and Volpe, and we performed in the very first Lucille Ball Festival of New Comedy. We were both like 20 or something crazy, 22. And we performed in that show, which is in my hometown of Jamestown, New York. And then also in 1989, I was attending a junior college, and they told us that Lucille Ball was going to come back for graduation. And I was like, this is awesome. And they also told us that if you played an instrument in the band, you would get to meet her. So I hadn't played the clarinet for years because I hated playing the clarinet. And I was like, I will play the clarinet in the concert band. So I pulled out the clarinet, I practiced. It was going along swimmingly, and then a month before she was supposed to come, she passed away. But I couldn't get out of playing at the damn graduation. So I had to show up at the graduation. I know. And therefore, Lucy got the last laugh. So those are my
She showed
birthdays.
you.
She showed me.
Birthdays.
Son of a-
Excellent.
Oscar winner.
Mike Nichols?
Mike Nichols?
For what? Not Lucille Ball. No. The Grey did win for the Grad.
He won for the
There you
Grad?
go.
There you
Because
go.
it didn't win Best Picture, so I wasn't
happen
sure.
often?
Sometimes they split it up.
Wait, you do it.
How often the planes go over? So often you won't even notice.
Till we stop and make a bit.
Right.
Which we will do now.
We'll do.
Karen, thank you very much. I never knew that story about Lucille Ball with you.
Yeah,
You learned something new, even in this 10 years of marriage.
Strangely.
You guys are keeping it fresh in terms of old pop stars.